All right, welcome everyone to another AMA here in Poochain Global. This is Kronos. My name is Brett. And today, again, we have Rick with Stratosphere, and we're going to be specifically talking about the stable pairing PUSD, which has been created here recently on Poochain, and also a farming protocol that has been created along with it. So I'm going to give the mic over to Rick. Rick, thanks for being here again with us and talking about PUSD this time. I'm excited about it. Obviously, my PFP is the PUSD logo. I think it's going to be very big for us to build up some total value here within the each ecosystem. So go ahead, Rick. You can take it away, buddy.
For sure. Thank you so much, Brett. Hey, guys. Rick, the DeFi guy here with the Stratosphere DeFi project. I got a few of my team members in here, too, so we'll kind of jump in, help everyone understand the implications related to the PUSD Poop liquidity yield farm that is currently live. It's sitting at 262% APY. And our team has decided to help out paying the emission with Strat tokens. I can talk a little bit about Strat, too, but I really want to talk about PUSD. How to get it, what it means for the chain, why it's so vitally important. Basically, if you guys don't know what PUSD is, it's a fork of BUSD. BUSD is the largest stable pairing on Binance Smart Chain. And coincidentally, the PUSD token on Poochain is 100% backed by BUSD through the bridge that we've created to help out in some co-development with the Poochain team. So how you get it. You guys can check out Poo Screener or Sphinx Labs, the chart for it. Right now, it's sitting at $1.04. How PUSD works is it's basically going to peg around $1 through this and this alone. Basically arbitrage, right? People buy a token, it goes up in value. People sell the token, it goes down in value, right? So with the ability to bridge PUSD and BUSD, it's always going to be bouncing around $1. It'll trade below. People will buy it on chain, raise up the value. People will bridge it in, bring more PUSD in, and it'll always like cover that dollar value. If it's traded above $1, guys, watch out. You basically want to bridge BUSD in. If it's traded below $1, you want to buy it on chain, raising the value, getting it, around that dollar mark. It's very important for the total liquidity of that to be arguably the largest on chain. What happens with a stable pairing and a native pairing, that has to be the largest liquidity on the network, because that is kind of like the core. Those are going to be the core tokens traded on the network. Poop being the native gas token, it has to have a value backing it, which would be PUSD, allowing for it to trade. And then coincidentally, once there is a ton of liquidity there, other projects could actually pair their token with the PUSD token, with the stable pairing token, especially if there's a ton of liquidity for PUSD. Once it gets a huge amount of liquidity, it'll basically be a stable coin straight up. You won't have to worry about trading it. It'll always be trading around that dollar mark, and then projects could actually pair their token with PUSD. So another great thing, this is actually going to boost the amount of transactions on chain. If we've got two major tokens to pair for liquidity, Poop or PUSD, there's going to be arbitrage between those pairs. Let's say, I'll just use Strat as an example. We already have the Strat Poop token paired for our liquidity. Now, if PUSD gets significant liquidity, we can actually pair the Strat token with PUSD. Our contract functions still work the same, but there will be two liquidity pairs. And when this happens, there might be bots. People will be able to arbitrage between the Strat value of PUSD and Poop. And as Poop changes in value, so will the value against PUSD constantly. It's always going to change. It's always going to have an arbitrage opportunity, no matter how much liquidity is in there. Even if it's a fraction of a percent, it's still, because there's no tax on Poop or PUSD on chain anyway, you're always going to have that opportunity. And that's going to create more transactions, more validator rewards, more opportunity for trading. If some projects might only use PUSD in the future for their liquidity because they don't want to, use their Poop tokens for the liquidity, because they might want to use that as they want we all know that, or hope that this project, that the Poop token, goes up in value. I mean, there's so much going on, getting ready to expand in all the other networks. We've got all these great utilities with the Poo Screener, the Sphinx Lab partnership, the Strat partnership. As soon as projects start building on chain, right, more and more liquidity is going to be locked up. And hopefully more and more liquidity with PUSD is going to be locked up. And that just means more transactions on chain, more rewards for the validators, and more trade capability for all of the projects utilizing Poop and PUSD. But before any of that can happen, we got to get PUSD and Poop liquidity through the roof. So again, in partnership with Poo Farms and Kronos and Strat, we put together this farming contract on Poo Farms. Let me drop that link. It's where'd it go? The heck is it? There it is. I'll just re-forward it to the group. Like I said, you guys can jump in. Well, look at it's pusd-farm.poofarms.co. And again, you guys can check it out. It's currently sitting at 262% with about 6,000 in there. Guys, if we hit 600,000, liquidity on PUSD, that's about 3 times what Poop has on BSC. So now more people will want to use the chain, and we all want the chain to grow, right? So it's very important. I mean, I cannot stress enough how important it is to get Poop and PUSD liquidity up. Not just because the Strat project helped make PUSD. PUSD is a stable coin for the chain. So if you guys are willing or wanting to park some money, if you look across the space and all the other blockchains, the largest liquidity pairs always have the native paired with the stable on chain, whether it's USDC, USDT, BUSD. And I'm sure we're going to see more stables come into the chain, but first PUSD's got to be the one. It has to be. There needs to be a stable pair liquidity on chain. PUSD can be the one. It is a fork of BUSD. It's 100% backed by BUSD. Now, how can I prove that? So the only way, there's 2 ways to get PUSD right now. You can bridge BUSD into PUSD 1-to-1, regardless of the PUSD value. Or you can buy PUSD on chain with your Poop tokens. But you want to pay attention to the PUSD price. Because like I mentioned, if PUSD is traded on chain with Poop, it could go up in value. Buy go up, sell go down. So pay attention to that. Right now it's trading at $1.04. So somebody could bridge in, I don't know, 20, 30 bucks of PUSD. Liquidity's pretty low. And they could sell the PUSD to get more Poop for what that PUSD is worth, right? Excuse me. And same thing goes the other way. If PUSD is below $1, you could buy it on chain and then bridge it out and get, let's say you bought it for 92 cents a token. You could bridge out all of your PUSD and get BUSD for each one of those PUSD, making 8 cents per token. That's the arbitrage. That's about as simple as it gets. But that will keep PUSD pegged to $1. And like I said, all of the PUSD on chain is currently and will always be 100% backed by BUSD, 1-to-1 token. So as more BUSD is bridged through, more PUSD is going to get released from the bridge. And then that PUSD is on chain with the BUSD to match it locked in the bridge. We're also going to do a Strat PUSD. We're happy to launch a farm with PUSD with the Strat. We're going to try to get that PUSD liquidity up with another token. You'll see that on Poo Farms soon. We just got to talk to Tyler and the boys. And yeah, we'll be happy. We're happy to be one of the first tokens to pair up with PUSD just to kind of show our commitment to that token. But yeah, if you guys, like I said, if you're validators, it just makes sense to use your rewards to help with that liquidity. I know you guys like to sell for profits. That's no problem. Do whatever you want. But yield farming is arguably one of the best ways to kind of grow your assets, in my opinion, not financial advice. Let me stop there and answer any questions because I know yield farming can be kind of confusing.
Yeah, so I definitely have been buying PUSD a little bit here and there. I think I'm up to about $150 worth or so with the deployer, just doing what you're saying, kind of keeping the price in check and playing around the price. I have not bridged over any BUSD yet, and I think I'm going to do that when I get home as well. And yeah, guys, it is really, really important that we utilize the stable pairing. Any of you guys with token projects on Poochain, I really, really want you to go ahead and start taking advantage of the PUSD pairing on Poochain now, and do a pairing with your tokens. I'll be doing one for Poozilla, Poonomics, and Poogro here the next week or so. As far as our side of it, and really investing in that. It's really cool too. If you look, PUSD has a $1 billion market cap on Poochain. That's very, very cool. It is a fork of BUSD. It is a 1-to-1. And as the liquidity grows, the volatility will become less and less for that price point. And that's really, that to us is what we want to do. We want to start, building up more and more liquidity, whether it's on other chains or whether it's, within our own ecosystem here on Poochain as well. Also creating those additional, pairings for your tokens, it's going to wrap up even more and more of the supply, right? And so that's very important for us as well. I don't really have any questions. I love it. I'm excited for the farming. I'll be utilizing it within the Poochain ecosystem as much as possible, and actually working with Rick and Phil and the team there to make sure I am utilizing it as much as possible to continue to grow it, grow that LP. So does anyone have any questions for Rick with everything he shared so far?
It's like Saturday afternoon, just chilling, listening to the AMA. I love it. So, guys, like Kronos said, if you are looking for a second liquidity pair, PUSD is a good one. Now, granted, it is very low liquidity right now, 6,000. But I can't stress enough how important a stable pairing is for the native. As it grows, it'll give the chain more validity. And again, as it grows, you'll have more TVL, total value locked on the chain. And that's going to raise the price of Poop. If that liquidity grows, that certainly means people are buying Poo tokens and locking them up into yield farm. And again, we're going to see more yield farms come on. And guys, we're happy to work with any of the other projects here to help with the farm. We have a contract that creates a farm contract, and we can, help. Let's all get together with Tyler and Joe or Phil or myself, and we'll get a farm for you guys up and running on Poo farms if they're, if they've got the time to deploy that. And then, then you can get more TVL locked in your own project, because yield farming is amazing. You literally get 260% APY right now. Now, that's not always going to be there. That's not like a guaranteed APY. There is a target for the emission rate. And just for securities, for you guys to understand how it works, it's not ever minting tokens, right? So it's just tokens per block emitted. So like as the blockchain, every time there's a block that pops up, the next emission will fire off, and that's when the Strat tokens get released. We are happily providing the Strat tokens for the emission. It gives you guys an opportunity to make a safe investment in the Strat project. If you're just, you don't really have the extra capital, but you want to utilize the capital that you do have, you don't want to lose those Poop tokens, you can park them in this farm and take a shot at getting some Strat tokens. We offer a great ecosystem. We're on 3 chains. We just launched our coffee and our merch. We're ready to work with other projects to get some merch for their projects up and running. You guys can do some t-shirts. We're going to do some affiliate programs. We're going to do on-chain buybacks with a portion of our revenue. We got the bridge fees, the validator. We got the coffee, the merch. And like I said, we're on Poochain right now as well. But if you guys if you're not comfortable just ponying up the cash to invest in another project, this is why the farm is so great. You can literally get some stable tokens paired with your Poop, drop them in the farm, earn some Strat tokens. I think we're going to probably keep this running for a good while. I don't really think we have a time frame of when we're going to shut it down. We have the tokens. We've got the revenue coming in to do the buybacks. Again, we believe in a sustainability model. And then, of course, we're going to get a Strat PUSD farm up too. But right now, the Poop PUSD farm is live. It is currently paying out Strat tokens. I know we had a little bit of a hiccup yesterday. No big deal. We're back up and running. People are, excited to play around with their crypto, especially on the weekends. And this is a great opportunity. You can drop some LP in and just park your funds for however long you want, earn some strat, and come play with us over there. Pretty cool.
So
Joe,
right now the farm is wrap, poop, and PUSD, and get strat.
Correct. So you go to PooSwap.finance, you click liquidity, import the pool of poop and PUSD. It is a equal parts value. So if you want to do $100 worth of LP tokens, you need $50 of poop, $50 of PUSD. You combine that to get an LP token, and then you go over to Poo Farms and stake the LP token to start earning strat.
It's very cool. Yeah, we'll definitely get Poozilla and PooGrow and Poonomics set up on that, pretty quickly. I'm excited for that. I really am. I think you've done a great job with that. I appreciate you guys working on that.
Of course, yeah. We it's just timing is everything. Timing's important. Just having people be aware of it. Not everybody understands yield farming. Everyone hears the words impermanent loss. You know what? Here's how it works in a kind of a layman's terms. If the price of poop goes up, it's basically like you're basically selling poop for PUSD as that price increases. So you might be losing some of your poop tokens, but you're gaining PUSD tokens in a sense. And you're actually sharing part of the liquidity provider fees as well. I actually don't know what the PooSwap liquidity provider fees. I think it's 0.25% for the entire pool. If I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure.
I think it's 0.25% for each transaction goes into the liquidity provider fees. So if you hold 10% of the entire PUSD liquidity, you would get 10% of liquidity provider fees. You don't really see it because of impermanent loss, but you are gaining tokens on either poop or PUSD as transactions come through the PUSD token if people are using poop, just so you're aware. I
had a cake poop LP pairing for Poochain on the Binance side there for a while, and I was the only one holding the pool. It's nice passive reward. It's the same principle.
Exactly. That's what this is. You're yield farming. You're basically growing your investment. Unless poop just takes a nosedive, this is one of the safest pairs that you're going to see on chain. It's the native with a stable. It doesn't get any better. Really, you could do two stables, but yeah, that's not as exciting. Usually you get 6% rewards. But this for the native and a stable at 260, come on, you're not going to see that anywhere else, guys. Joe, did I miss anything?
Yeah, that's very true. And so you said the liquidity is about 6,000 right now?
Liquidity is 59.88 in total. So there is some significant price impact if you're a big baller rolling coal here. But yeah,
that's
a couple $100. That's
still really impressive. I'm pretty sure you guys launched it with 2,500 in liquidity. So just in under a week, liquidity is up 3,500. That's great, guys.
Yeah, and like I said, it just makes sense for the validators too. If they're wondering what to do with their poop tokens, a great place is the farm. Any native with a stable, that is about as good as it gets, especially if you're a validator or if you have a reward token and you're getting poop as the native reward. You can literally amplify your earnings from your reward token that you're invested, whether it's Strat or NSLB or Poozilla, if you've got NFTs earning poop or whatever. Guys, the farm is where it's at. That is a secondary method of growing your assets through yield farming. It's pretty great. And then you're going to get some Strat tokens. It's another reward token. Pretty cool. You can just keep growing, keep playing, keep growing.
That's really what's great about everything that we're doing on Poochain is, so much of it is built around passive reward. And that's always been important to me. And it gives people reasons to invest and hold.
Yeah, not only that, but once you pair it, once you have that poop PUSD pairing, you're earning strat. You can take that strat reward, pair it up with more PUSD, and then basically double what you're getting in rewards again. So it's roll one into the other.
I hate to encourage compounding, but like when we have the Strat PUSD, I mean, you do get native poop rewards with the Strat tokens, but in essence, you really could. The idea is you want to bring in fresh capital. We would like to build our liquidity, not necessarily at the expense of the token. See, that's the thing with the poop PUSD. It's always great to just keep, if you're a validator, like I said, we don't want to necessarily sell the poop, but if you've got a way to bring in fresh BUSD, you could just keep adding, compounding daily or whatever, and you're sitting at, I mean, like I said, we're sitting at 262 APY. Same thing with the Strat. If you've got the ability, maybe you've got your poop tokens, and let's say the PUSD poop LP is really big. You're not going to hurt poop by turning it into PUSD and pairing it with Strat. You're not going to hurt it if there's a ton of liquidity, and that's why the poop PUSD liquidity is so important. It literally establishes validity to the chain. We could have 25 million in total lock value. People will take notice of this chain if you've got 25 million in your stable pairing for liquidity. That is stability and security all in one shot. I mean, we got, oh my God, let's just say, what was it? I saw yesterday, it was like 292 million in BUSD BNB on PancakeSwap alone is insane. And that's just one liquidity provider. You've got like BuySwap that has their own factory router, and they also have like 100 million in BUSD BNB. So that's gonna happen here, guys. One way or another, we see the growth that we all expect. We're gonna see those numbers. So you might as well take advantage of it now.
Let's say we get a coin launched that gives PUSD as rewards. What about Zilla?
Oh yeah. I mean, what happens with PUSD as rewards, what it'll do is it'll basically it'll buy back PUSD. So that actually could be to your advantage too. Especially if it's trading below $1. Uh-oh. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, I just had that in friend because I think it'd be a great idea because some of this techno stuff for me is just all right. Yeah, okay, just make it easy. Give me some reward. I can take that shit and be happy.
Of course. Yeah, and everyone wants a stable. That way there's very little risk. I mean, right now with how low the liquidity is, it's going to trade with a lot of volatility. But you're right. If a token launches and they say they want to do PUSD as the payout for the reward, essentially what it does is it's swap and liquefying their token for poop, and then that poop is being used to buy the PUSD and then paying that out to the holders. So it's actually really slick. I mean, we're going to do PUSD as the drop down in our reward ecosystem for sure, and it's going to do the same thing. But first, we got to get that LP up. But yeah, that's a great idea. So if any of you developers are listening, be paying attention. That's a slick idea.
Yeah, what's really nice about it too, once it builds up liquidity, is that it keeps more assets on the chain, and so people can, if they're up in profit, they can trade now to a stable pairing and keep it on the chain. They won't feel the need to sell on the BNB side, or once we get another chain liquidity up. I think it will keep a lot more of the value. I mean, not necessarily locked up, but just in people's wallets on Poochain.
Yeah, I mean, and that's not to take away from the getting the bridge fees for poop, but if there is a sell tax on poop on the other networks, which we know there is, that's one way to if you're looking to take your rewards, you could go through PUSD because you get BUSD, and that of course that's not taxed. That's just one avenue that you can utilize PUSD for. But basically, in what you would be doing is keeping your poop on chain without hurting it on the other networks. So we really wanted this to kind of basically help build the network here. Like, we love the idea of the Poochain blockchain. We're so excited to be launched on it, and we want to help build the ecosystem in-house. So again, I cannot stress it enough. When PUSD liquidity is massive, the eyes will be turning towards us for damn sure. And very cool. Yeah, you can help out by jumping in and earn some tokens too. Let's see. What else does that mean? Yeah. So as other projects start to build, and like Zishan said, you could literally use PUSD as the payout as well, and you're not going to be hurting anything. So yeah, because it's all backed by BUSD. I love that idea. God, I don't know why we didn't think of that. Well, because it was developed afterwards, anyways. But yeah. So if you are a project and you're looking to utilize PUSD, it's a great time to do it. Like I said, the liquidity is a little on the low side, so that's why we're creating a farm, trying to get that thing pumped up, because that's good for everybody. I think that's all I've got related to PUSD. Links to get it. So we've got the PUSD BUSD bridge on the Stratosphere dApp, so you can go to stratospheredefi.com. If you want to get BUSD into PUSD, you would connect to the BSC part of our dApp, and then you could plug in your BUSD, spits out PUSD automatically. It's like very similar to the PooSwap bridge fees, like $5. And then same goes the other way. If you want to get PUSD out and go to BUSD, you come to the Stratosphere dApp, connect to the Poochain side, plug in your PUSD, and you would get the BUSD automatically deposited as well. So there's a lot of great opportunity there, especially since there's a farm now. Now people can put their money to work for them. I should say their digital assets to work for them. Yeah, and I get excited talking about like the validator stuff too. I know not everybody here is a validator, so like I'm not like tooting our own horn or whatever, but it is good for the validators. It's good for the blockchain. It's healthy for the blockchain. Having all those extra transactions, having that on-chain volume gets us noticed. So if we're trying to get, Poochain noticed, this is one easy way to do it, guys. We just keep it all in the ecosystem, grow it from there. People will take notice of the Poop token, and they're going to want to be a part of it. There's a lot of great blockchains out there. This is another one. I know yesterday was a little bit of a hiccup, but I mean, they worked on it real quick. Everybody, mitigating or managing 80 people within, less than 18 hours. They did a pretty good job. So kudos to those guys. I know Mick had a hell of a night. But yeah, that's it from us.
Hey, so did the incinerator get turned on the Poochain side? I know I asked that, but when I log into the D app, I'm not seeing the incinerator option.
I would have to take a look. Is our Phil here, Joe?
See, I think he was still on here.
Yeah, he's here, but possibly he cannot talk. He's not at home, I think. Yeah, I think the incinerator is working, but not for all the tokens. Right now, it is just working for Stratosphere. We're actually working on an incinerator as a service. This means we could potentially use it for any token in the Poochain. So how it will work, you just transfer via a dApp your tokens or Poop tokens into the incinerator, and then starts incinerating against your token, buying and selling until there's no token left for gas fees. We're working on that. It will take some time until it's finished. Yeah, but this is our plan, how we proceed with that.
And we'll get you the one for the Poop BSC token. That'll probably roll out with that too.
Okay.
That way you can make it like similar to our farm contract, where we've got a contract that builds farms. Do I have that right, Joe? He's gonna make one that builds the incinerator with different parameters, changeable for pretty much anybody.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that's when we'll get it to you, Brett. Sorry for the delay. We wanted to be able to take care of everybody at the same time, kind of to help everybody.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Okay.
I'm just excited to use it. A name like incinerator, I can't stay away.
Yeah, I mean, I used some of my personal Poop tokens for the Strat Poop and fired in I think it was 20,000 Poop for the Strat incinerator just to kick off. Like when the chain went back live, I was like, oh yeah, I got a little bit of Poop tokens. And it cranked out 400 volume just in a matter of minutes off of, I think it was a total of 100,000 tokens that I used of my own.
That's really cool.
That's a Strat that incinerated 20,000, but yeah. So yeah, we'll have that available for, in the near future for anybody who wants to utilize it. It's pretty slick technology. We've got it attached to each one of our tokens right now. And then, as you guys know, Poop will have that for the BSC side too. And we'll make it available for anybody who wants to use it coming in the near future. It's pretty cool. Looking to see how we doing on the farm. Oh no. Yeah, my computer crashed. Guys, we're still at 262 with 5986. I know you guys got some Poop tokens hiding out there.
Yeah, I'm pulling into my house now. I'm actually going to sit down on my computer and see what I can do for setting up some farming for us.
Rock and roll. Well, yeah, we just want to give a big shout out to the Poop Farm guys too. We kind of hit them short notice. Tyler, the rest of the team over there, thanks for working with us real quick. This is great for the entire chain. This is great for all the projects. We're looking forward to having more farms with you guys. I dig the front end that y'all created, our own little page here. I really enjoy it. So we appreciate you guys. And Brett, everybody else in Poochain and the rest of the community, thank you guys very much for the support. We're going to keep rolling out some cool stuff and do a lot of cool collaborations with everybody here too. So thanks a lot, guys. If you have any questions, you're welcome to join us at the Strat Chat. Please hit us up in the Poochain Global. If you're over in the Poochain Friends channel as well, just hit us up, tag me, tag one of our team members. We'll get you the info you seek as fast as possible. That's all I've got today. Watch out for scammers, guys. They like to pretend to be, the admins of each of the channels, and they're going to try to tell you that they need this or you need to connect to this. Don't click funny links. Always refer to the main chats wherever possible. And that's all I've got, guys.
Yeah, that's a very, very important point to be made. If you ever have a question about who's contacting you in DM, always come to Global and verify. People are out there to take advantage of you, and we don't want that to happen. So specifically anything airdrop related, you probably stay away from that. And definitely never, ever connect your wallet to anything that is not an official link of Poochain and found within our Global channel. I appreciate you being here, Rick, and thanks so much, for joining the Poochain team with your team. You guys have just dived right in. You're clearly very passionate about what you're doing with Stratosphere, and you're bringing that passion over to Poochain. I couldn't be more happy to see that. It really is great. I think what you guys are doing is awesome. I think you're clearly, starting to stand out as one of the stronger projects on Poochain, and that's great to see. So great job and good luck. And we've got your back, and I feel like you've got our back too. And that's awesome.
Thank you very much, guys. We appreciate y'all.